Hello, and welcome back to the weekly Oracle card reading with Kylie Savage Psychic. You're here to receive a very special prescription for how to best work with the universal energies that will be available this week, and that's the week from the 10th of January to the 16th of January 2020. How is the new year treating you so far? I trust that you've been off to a brilliant start and you're going along swimmingly. Okay, I would like to wish you many happy full moon blessings. For the Northerners, your full moon eclipse in Moonchild is today, and for the Southerners, it's tomorrow. If you haven't already got your Moonology 2020 diary by Yasmin Boland, see if you can snap one up because they're brilliant. I'm going to use this time to do my forgiveness and releasing magical ritual, my moon manifesting ritual, to fully say goodbye to last year. I have yet to create my commitments for this year, and that's because I feel like I just haven't tied up all the loose ends, done a proper reflection on last year. What were the major patterns and themes? What were the challenges, the lessons? What were the joyful bits, the good bits? And then what would I like to create and manifest this year? So I think this is absolutely perfect timing, and I wish you all the very best. Okay, I've pulled 4 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle. So if you could just take a moment right now to choose a number between 1 and 6. Just let that number intuitively come to you. Okay, when you have your number, what that means is as I pull the cards out, I'll tell you what number that card is, and that card that you've chosen, the number that you've chosen, that card will have just a little bit more of a relevant and specific and personal message for you. I would love your feedback on how you're finding that. And I'd also like to say thank you very, very much to everyone who has been in touch with me and let me know how these readings have resonated for them. I create these content and projects and what have you, all these ideas I have, and I put them into practice with the attitude and the intention that if it helps one person and that person is me, then it's worth my effort, my time and energy. So when you guys get in touch and you let me know that something, really resonated for you, it made a difference for you in your life, a positive impact, that's icing on the cake and I love it. I'm so appreciative and grateful for it. So thank you for taking that time and energy and letting me know. Awesome. Okay, so we have 4 cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, and our first card, our anchor card, is No Place Like Home. Now, if you watched last week's video, this was card number 4, but it was in protection. So it's really good to see it back here upright. Cards in protection, remember, Colette says they're just an extra hug from the universe, supporting and guiding us to get back into alignment. Course correct. Okay, so No Place Like Home is all about authenticity. And I read the 6 cards diagonally as well. So you'll see when we get to our 4th card how this, message and story unfolds as well. Now, I've talked about the polarization. If any of you have read Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield, can't recommend that enough. There's also a movie. I think you can even watch it on YouTube. And, part of the Celestine Prophecy was talking about the polarization of the world and how we only need a critical mass to make change, going forward. So we don't need everyone on board, but the polarization is, everyone either agrees with something or disagrees, and the middle ground, the fence sitting, it's over. Now, you'd have to be blind Freddy not to see that that's true of our world today. So the thing is, there's a lot of pressure. I'm probably going to talk a little bit more about the bushfires in Australia because obviously it's very relevant for me and my fellow Australians at the moment. But there's a lot of pressure to pick a side, to jump on the bandwagon. Things are social, political, cultural, whatever. And what our spirit is sort of showing me and the message coming through is encouraging us not to just pick a side because it seems more like us or it's the easier option. We need to look at things through the lens of authenticity. And we may feel pressured to pick a side, to be on one side of an argument or the other, and yet it needs to be real. We need to get behind causes which really do express our true values, morals, ethics, beliefs, and so on. So I really feel like No Place Like Home is also saying come home to yourself, your sense of security, and confidence and calm, and being comfortable is all about keeping it back here with us, being at home, comfortable in your own skin. And the thing is, though, too, sometimes it can feel uncomfortable, if we're on the other side of an argument from somebody else. Yet we've got to stick to what's real for us and not just choose things because we think it's a more popular choice or the choice that's going to get us in least trouble with our neighbours and friends. It's a difficult time to be authentic. And yet this has been the whole flow-on theme from last year and a few years before that. Is authenticity is the way forward, and we need to stand up for our beliefs, and they're really being hammered in question, and people can get totally crucified on social media and all the rest. So sometimes it's a little bit of a message to retreat to. We don't, we can be in this world but not of it. A little bit of a message of non-attachment here. It's also about home affairs, looking at what's going on within your own home and family and paying attention there. So the thing is, like if you find yourself in arguments with people and whatever, and you feel like your own, thoughts and opinions and values and beliefs are being questioned, just remember to keep it real, to stand by what is true for you, if you feel called to express that. And it's okay not to as well. But, not to just drop your values and your ethics and your morals, beliefs, because they're unpopular. And I feel like that's really important going through this week. I feel like we want to be in a little bit of a bubble. Some of us are super sensitive. And use the full moon releasing time as well to say, perhaps things have changed for me and I can release what no longer serves me. I feel like there's a real call to be flexible, yet still, the message is stay true to yourself. I feel like with the Australian bushfires and with the, climate change and everything, something has fundamentally shifted again. I'm sort of remembered of, September 11 and all the rest of it. We got, thrown into a new normal, which was very unsettling, and it caused us all to make adjustments to be able to thrive in this new environment. And what I'm hearing from everybody about the fires, from their personal experiences, the fires were more intense, more devastating, more frightening, more erratic. They're still all ongoing. The fire threat around here is still ongoing. But just the intensity of the fires, people are saying it's 10 times worse than what they've ever seen before. The fires have destroyed more habitat, more thoroughly than ever before. And I've seen it just from driving around my area and community. I haven't seen fire do what it's done around here before. And I just feel like in that shift to that new normal, going forward, we are all evolving at these faster rates. I've been talking about this. We need to move into wisdom, intuitive wisdom, and take inspired action. But it's, the time for being inundated with information is we're moving out of that. But, how do we keep a sense of identity when we're under this increasing pressure to evolve so fast? And evolution is such a slow process. So I feel like that's where the stress comes in. Our modern life is just changing so fast, yet evolution is such a slow process. There's a gap. And I feel like that can cause us a lot of stress. So when you come home to yourself as well, look at self-care. Like I was reminded of the house. When you dream and you see a house, that represents yourself. So I really feel like I got that message with this card is look to your self-care. And, just taking good care of your mental health, your psychological, emotional health, and your physical health, the body. And just working out things that are really going to nurture you through these massive times of radical change. So I'm going to leave you with that and trust that the story's going to make more sense as we go on. Now you can tell I really shuffled my cards because I've got time to go in protection as well. So you can see the little fairy, she's on the path. She's heading up here. It's a little bit more faded. So there's obviously change in there. Now this time to go is saying that if you feel like something has completely ended, you had a project, and so looking at the bushfires once again, you may have lost your home, your land may be forever changed, your community's changed, your ideals, your sense of security in this world, those things may have changed. But what it's saying is this is just a break. So something has not completely ended. It's going to come back around and we're going to have another experience with this. So I feel like this time to go is kind of just a reminder to breathe. It's a breather, it's a pause, and it's saying whatever it is that's very current in your life right now, and it's the current theme, the focus, the more intense focus. If you feel like that's ended, could be a job, a phase of life, a relationship, whatever, a dream, it's not over yet. I feel like this is a hopeful message. So it's saying hang in there. We're in the soul's timing. The soul has more of an idea of our destiny and our fate. And just hang in there. Don't give up. That's what I feel like that card is saying to us. So that was the second card. The third card is poised. And this is like one of my most favorite cards in the deck when it's upright. Just an extra hug from the universe, come back in, course correct, realign. So it's poised in protection. So that is saying that whatever the thing is, like don't give up, but we're not ready to take action on it again. So it's same thing, it's a breather. It's saying, when poised is upright, it's like you are ready. When it's in protection, it's like you are not ready. And the other thing is going back to our anchor card, don't take inauthentic action. Don't take action just for the sake of doing something. We've got to sit in this in-between place. And this was a little bit of the message from last week. Sit in the uncertainty, the uncomfortability, and wait for things to unfold. We're in this yin type energy. This is definitely a yin card. It's not a yang taking action card. We're in the more feminine, receptive, patient yin energies. So we're being the receptacle, poised. And I feel like because we don't have all the pieces of the puzzle yet, we don't have all the resources, if we leap forward now, and especially if we take self-seeking action to try and make ourselves feel better, it's going to come back and sting us. We don't want to do that. Stay in this uncomfortability, because even if it's uncomfortable, it's not as painful as taking some inauthentic action or some rash action, or lashing out at others because we're in pain. That's the other message I get. We've got to remain poised and calm and wait this one through. Okay, the fourth card is by the book, and it's also in protection. So if it's upright, it's about co-creating with universal law. When it's in protection, the message is saying throw the book out. So, we will be moving. This is a future possible outcome card. I'm sorry, this is telling us more of the story card. The poised in protection was a future possible outcome. But by the book is saying, throw out the book. It's time, and we will be moving into more radical action. And sometimes the radical action is being in that yin receptive state and of non-action. Sometimes that's radical for us. We live in a very yang Western world, where we're told, you need to work hard, you need to take action, just do it, and all the rest, which is sometimes helpful. But we need a balance of action and inaction. So by the book is saying, and I feel like when you go back to No Place Like Home, the anchor card, it's saying if we do need to be a healthy rebel, and take some radical action, or have a radical attitude, and rebel against what's going on, we just need to make sure that rebellion is authentic for us. Because if it's not, if we're just jumping on bandwagons to be popular and to pick a side, so we're not in that washy in between, which all humans are being urged away from because of the polarization, If you do that and you just lean towards one side or the other, you're going to get crucified because it's not real. And you're going to suffer from throwing yourself under the bus, and you're going to lose trust in yourself. You're going to create self-doubt and more insecurity and uncertainty. You don't want to do that for yourself. That big message is self-care. Sometimes self-care is putting some really healthy boundaries in place. Nancy Levin is bringing out a new book about boundaries, and she's doing some free webinars and Facebook Lives about it. So check out nancylevin.com if you're interested in that. She has some great information and great books, and boundaries is something we all need to learn about. Whenever I've got myself in hot water, I will go back, I'll unpack it, and I'll look back and I'll say, yes, there was a boundary there and I broke it. Like Till Swan says, nobody else breaks our boundaries, we break them. And it takes guts to maintain your boundaries, to assert yourself, just, to stand up for what you truly believe in. So by the book is saying, go ahead, be a healthy rebel, but do it authentically. Otherwise, you're just going to come off looking silly. Malachi is also saying in this time, this fundamental shift and change where, we live in uncertain times, it's very difficult. We're reaching for certainty and we want to know. We want to know what's the right thing to do. What's the thing that's going to be least painful. Humans are, more wired, some of us, to move towards pleasure and avoid pain. Malachi is saying you have the smarts, you have the know-how. You will be able to sift through all the information and make really smart decisions and choices as long as you trust your intuition. It's also a green stone, wearing my aventurine today. All green stones are about regeneration, healing. Also, there's a little bit of a transformation message in there as well. It's time to heal, time to regenerate, time to prosper, time to be fertile and abundant, which is a really good message in here with this. As you said, it's very up and down, like, I'm starting to see our way through all of these things that are going on. Very intense energies. Remember, the full moon eclipse really does play into this. Now we have, and I hope I'm going to say this right, we have a beautiful goddess. So this is number 6 card. Sorry, Malachi, it was number 5. A beautiful goddess. So the 6th card in my spreads, I always ask for a guide or a goddess or a god, to step forward to assist and support us with anything that came up during the reading and to kind of be our guide throughout the week. Or say it goes beyond the week. Say there was a major theme like being authentic, being more joyful, or learning how to be more trusting or assertive, to maintain our boundaries. That goddess or the guide card, they step forward and assist and support us with that. So number 6 is, I think you say Amaterasu or Amaterasu, and she's the goddess of light. And this is from Megan Watterson's Divine Feminine Oracle. So I'll just quickly read out to you what the message is. But she's saying we are all sacred mirrors reflecting back that same light. And I had it marked. Okay, so basically what it's about. Amaterasu, she went into the cave because, and she's the solar goddess in Japanese mythology. Okay, she got into a fight with her brother, Susanoo, god of storms and sea. His violence made Amaterasu so upset and angry, she retreated into a cave, leaving the world in darkness. So she's like the sun, she's gone in the cave, we're all in the dark. The Kami of merriment placed a mirror outside of her cave and laughed so much, Amaterasu became curious. She peeked outside the cave and saw a beautiful goddess, a stunning vision of the dawn. That dawn, that sign and synchronicities keep coming to me, and I feel like we're in the dawn of a new age. So she's another symbol of the dawn. She was in awe of it, not realizing it was her own reflection. Surrounded by laughter, Amaterasu's anger and depression lifted. She agreed to leave the cave, bringing her light with her back to the world. So I feel like it's a very hopeful, inspiring message. We're going through some really dark, turbulent times, and it feels like the light's fading. And I feel like the new dawn is also symbolic of hope. We need to hang on to our hope. I keep hearing that as well. So when your soul selects this card, the cave is so crucial, drawing inward, coming back to ourselves, like no place like home is telling us. Hiding our light to restore ourselves and heal from something or someone that felt too intense or aggressive. A lot of people affected by these fires would be feeling like that. They need shelter. When we hide our light, though, we aren't the only ones left in the dark. We take our light from the ones who love us as well. The beauty of Amaterasu is that she emerges from the cave out of curiosity, attracted to someone else's joy. That's when she meets the dawn of her own reflection. She doesn't truly see herself and the beauty of her light until she's drawn out of herself. Amaterasu sees her own light once she becomes curious about seeing the light that's around her in the levity and the laughter of the other deities. This is the answer. If we've been too long in retreat, if we've been hiding our light, not out of self-love and a soulful need for restoration, but out of reaction to someone else's pain, then we draw ourselves out by focusing on the joy of others. Seeing their light allows us to see our own. And sometimes even the solar goddess needs to be inspired or reminded of why she shines so brightly. Not just for the sake of her own reflection, but also for all those beloved beings that need her rays of light to remember their own. Sometimes we need the sight of the faces we brighten in order to remember why we are so devoted to finding our way back into the light. So good, this oracle. And I'm sort of, thinking about that and thinking the people who have experienced great loss through these fires, they can, help each other and bond through this experience, but they also need, the love and the light and the healing from other people. And the response from the world to Australia has been beautiful. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's donated to the bushfire crisis, everyone who sent us prayers and thoughts for rain. It's been great. We've had some rain. We could have some more this week. Yay! Bring on the rain. Under grace in a perfect way. And, it's just, we need reminders of that joy as well when we're in our own, dark caves. We need reminders of why it's important that we go on, we be optimistic and joyful, and we look towards a future that we want to create. And the other thing is, with that no place like home, sometimes, you might go on social media or something, and you express your true authentic view and you get crucified. And it's like, well, we need to support each other because, we can get really caught up in this right and wrong. And is anybody ever really right or wrong? Is it only judging that makes it so? And when we're in that very judgy place, it's not a loving place. It's not an inspiring, creative, welcoming, beautiful, safe space. And we need those spaces. So we need to try and be that for ourselves and for others. So please, let's check our attitudes. Let's, up our kindness level, our joy level. Just remember that we are reflecting the light for everybody else and for ourselves. And, remember to receive that light from others. And that's what's really helped me too. Finding some humor in the joyful moments throughout this crisis. And, reminding myself of everything that's, makes my life worth living. Because those are the things that I'm going to fight for. Those are the things that I'm going to stand my ground about. And these are the values that, I am persisting for. And, resisting that darkness. They're the things that are going to help us all through these times, which are uncertain and full of change. Doesn't mean it's a bad time. Hang on to that new dawn. All right, thank you for watching another video with me, and I trust that your week is fully and totally blessed. Let me know how you go with your full moon rituals, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.